In this video we're going to talk about one-to-one functions. So the overall section is talking about determining whether a function is one-to-one. So a one-to-one function is a function in which each output value corresponds to exactly one input value. So before we could have it to where, for example, Q and R go to the same thing. And this is a function, but it's not one-to-one. And this one's not a function. But this is a one-to-one function, because that goes to this one, this goes to that one. Q goes to Y, Y goes to Q, or Y points to Q. Meaning on the output values you can tell what was the input value. So, question, is the area of a circle a function of its radius? Is the function one-to-one? Well, area is pi r squared. So the answer there is yes, it is a function. You could write area as a function of the radius. Now, is it one-to-one? Could there be more than one value to get there? Meaning, let's just say it this way, like a of 3. If the radius is 3, you have pi times 3 squared, which is 9 pi. Is there another way to get to 9 pi? Well, if we could have a negative radius, yes, but we can't have a negative radius, so this would be a one-to-one function. Because we cut off that whole other half of the parabola. It's just a parabolic, If the other half was here, there'd be another way to get there. But that's not there. It's just this side because you have to have a positive radius. Now there's something called the vertical line test, which is a tool we use to determine if a relation is a function. So you inspect the graph to see if any vertical line drawn would intersect the curve more than once. So if there is such a line, then the graph does not represent a function. So here are some examples. This one, the line hits it once, so that is a function. In this graph, the line hits it more than once. It's not a function. And in the third oval here, obviously hits more than once, so it's not a function. Or it could be an ellipse, by the way. So in these, which one represents a function? So obviously this one does, because it only hits it one time. This only hits it one time. But this hits it more than one time, in many places in fact. So this one's not a function. Is this going to be a function? Well, if I draw vertical lines, it hits it only one time, so this is a function. So I probably should come back up here and say function, function. Horizontal line test. Now this test is what we use to determine if a function's one-to-one. So draw a horizontal line through the graph. If any horizontal line intersects the graph more than once, then the graph does not represent a function, a one-to-one function. It could still be a function, it wouldn't be one-to-one. So here it's going to hit more than once. So this is not one-to-one. Here it hits only once, so this is one-to-one. Here it's already not a function, but horizontal lines hits it more than once, so it's not one-to-one, and it's not a function because of the vertical line test. I hear my cat there. And that's where we'll stop here. Next video we're just going to talk about there's a collection of basic functions to be aware of.